What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Round 3 Front 9 coverage here at the 2022 PDGA Champions Cup, presented by Bushnell. We're in beautiful Appling, Georgia, playing the W.R. Jackson course. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me is Nathan Queen.
How's it going?
Man, I'm doing all right. Excited that we're over halfway. We're getting through it into round 3. The conditions again today, really, we're expecting a lot of rain. Came a little bit earlier, so for our card today, had some great scoring one.
Yeah, lots of rain early on, so you will see a bit more water and mud on the course today. But like you said, good scoring conditions. The sun never really came out, so it didn't get too steamy on us, and just pretty comfortable out here. You see Ricky got that 3-stroke lead with the rest of the leaderboard within 4 strokes back. Right into the bag checks here. Calvin, he always throws those up shots. His champion Rhino, going to be leaning on that. Rock threes, you see he's got an array of those, and he gets those eagles for most of those fairway drive throws out here.
Yeah, and Paul McBeth's back, going to be leaning on those Lunas that he putts with. Going to be throwing a lot of forces, and also going to be leaning a lot on that a titanium Undertaker. He's going to throw that for a lot of flip ups in these tight fairways. Also, James Conrad on the card today, putting his signature disc of the Nomad Electron Soft. I'm going to be throwing a lot of that, the Entropy today in both the Electron and Plasma, and then leaning on a new disc, the Terra. Going to be shaping some shots on that. Andrew Marwede, sponsored by DGA, going to be putting those steady BLs. Look out for those orange ones. Was making amazing putts with those yesterday. Really going to be leaning into the Raptors. Look out for that Z1 that's died. He leans on that a lot. As we get into hole 1, par 4, 660 feet. Great starting hole here. The most natural gap's going to be on the right side, just kind of a straight hyzer around the corner. You can play the flip up, making it a bigger gap at the beginning, but then a little bit tighter towards the end. And then you have 2 choices of the backhand or the forehand hyzer to be able to approach this green.
Out of Safety Harbor, Florida, 2021 Ledgestone Insurance Open Champion, Calvin Heimburg.
And so far this year, we've seen most of the players actually taking that left side, going with the flex shot, which surprised me a bit. We still have seen some go down the right side. Kind of seems like that's what Calvin's eyeing up here.
Yeah, there's that right side gap. He has hit that first available tree, first 2 rounds, and today absolutely nails it. Pushes a little bit long. We had to throw a little bit of a flex shot.
Beach, California, 2-time qualifier, including the 2021 Dynamic Discs Open Champion, Paul McBeth.
And Paul, yesterday, to jump on this card, made some big moves, going 10 down over the last 10 holes.
Yeah, with only 1 par and an eagle to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Also choosing to go down that right side, needs to miss that last tree. And does so. He's a bit inside. It might be a little wet over there. That's a pretty sloppy spot, but should be in a decent spot to attack the pin.
James, definitely someone to just commit so hard in the woods. Really excited to watch him today. Have pretty much no doubt he's going to take this right side gap on the hyzer and just push it.
Looking pretty similar to Calvin's, but catching that hyzer at the end. He'll be right in the middle of the fairway, have that opportunity to go a few different ways. And we've got Andrew here for the 2nd day in a row, playing solid golf, looking to keep that going here.
Yeah, he's taking that flex line. If he can beat these last couple trees, yeah.
Does miss those last few trees and pushes long, gets a nice little kick back towards the fairway. He'll be in a good spot.
McBeth just pulls that a little bit, and
it is thick over there.
Once you cross over that road, those bushes and everything there are very difficult to get through. Calvin looking to line up backhand flex.
Yeah, he's going to want to go higher than usual here. Doesn't get it up too high, but catches that last tree. Not a bad shot from where he was at. Pretty difficult angle to attack.
James going overstable mid-range, trying to flex one up there, and holds on just a little bit too long. He'll be right there on the road, so not too difficult of an upshot there to save the par.
And this hole actually playing as the third most difficult on the course today. Just some, maybe some of that rain this morning causing more difficulty in the footing for this upshot. It is slightly uphill, but if you don't move your feet at all, then you're going to be good. He is up inside the circle. What an incredible shot.
Just such a good standstill flex forehand from Marwede.
Yeah, you see James standing in the mud there. Used to be a road.
Used to be a road, now it's just mud. Just a mud road.
Gets up and down for par. Paul's going to have a bit more trouble. Let's see what he can come up with. Nice. Gets it through some leaves.
Calvin with the long look, circle 2 edge here. Oh, and just low. Would have been such a good way to start it out, get some momentum behind that putter. He's had circle 2 on lock so far at this tournament. And rare miss there from Andrew.
Yeah, nerves can get you at any point. It doesn't really matter who you are. It can they just kind of pop up on you sometimes. That seemed to be what that was. Hopefully he can settle in a little bit and not worry about that one.
Yeah, it's a moving day here on the first major of the year. So, first 2 rounds, you're kind of getting your footing, and then you realize, man, I'm playing really well. I've been on chase card 2 days in a row, and really just trying to get after it. And this is the day to do it.
Well, no bogeys taken here, but no birdies either. Not the best start, but not the worst. Brings us into hole 2. Pretty birdieable, par 3, 390 feet. Want to make sure you don't push the right side. That causes a lot of players to hyzer a bit early and have a circle 2 look on the left side. Calvin's got a great shape for this shot, standing a fairway driver up to a soft finish.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
Bullseye. Yeah, and hole 2 here, really probably the most stock shot that the players are going to throw today.
Yeah, and this looks great as well. It's going to be right up there, even closer than Calvin's.
Oh, yeah. So we get a look here at Paul's form. He has such a compact form, not the biggest of steps, but every bit of it deliberate, a little bit of a hop. And I love how he snaps off that back foot so well right as he pulls through, really gets that weight shift into it. And he actually turns on his kind of the ball of his foot a little bit more than his heel, but makes it work to the bullseye park job.
Just not quite getting the hyzer on that one. Does get fortunate to kick back to the left side. Right is pretty rough over there.
Full commit here from Andrew.
Yeah, and this is looking like another bullseye shot to me. Does get a little bit more of a skip. Might not be bullseye, but you can see 3 players in a line inside 12 feet right there. Fantastic shots. Proving why 47.
Ooh.
players were able to get the birdie on this hole today.
James trying to join that, make it 48, just a little bit low. I have about a 20-foot comebacker here for the par. Sneaks it in left side. And the rest of these, just a formality. Tap ins here on 2.
Yeah, you'd like to get a birdie on 1 or 2 to start, but as long as you're not bleeding strokes and losing any, there's still plenty of holes left to get your birdies along the way. These other guys don't even have to think about these, though. Just going to tap in the birdies. It's 3 great drives.
Moving into hole 3, a hole where the drive is so important. You need to push quite a far distance, near about 350 feet before you take this right turn. So a lot of high anhyzers. Try not to even flex out, just trying to shape all the way left to right movement. And then if you can land it in a good spot, really just kind of right to left moving shot into the green. We've seen players even go really high on the right, kind of just ignore the fairway and go high on the left, whatever you can do to get close on that second shot. But the tee shot, really the difficult thing, as Calvin absolutely smashes this over the head of the catch cam. My goodness.
That is a smash. Calvin's form here on this big anhyzer turnover. You can see how he gets all of his momentum looking down and then immediately leans back and gets that forward movement all going up and over top of the disc to get it moving to the right.
And as we talk through that, Nathan and I both leaning back, shaping our bodies here in the booth. Paul taking a little bit of a lower line, disc down to a control driver, just wanting to play placement, knows that the second shot is very important.
In case you're wondering, I did use my right hand.
You did, I can confirm. He's not leaving it, don't worry, lefties.
And again, we're going to see Andrew go with the sidearm.
He's comfortable with it. He knows he can hit this line.
Yeah, and he hits it well here. This has a lot of speed on it. Pushes up, and he'll be in a good spot to get up and around the corner. Probably going to have to go backhand now, though. I don't believe sidearm will be the play.
James giving it everything on this one.
Yeah, seems like he's gone with more of a hyzer flip. And he's up there in between the 2 fairways. He may have a way to navigate up to the green.
Andrew having to deal with that stump behind him just a little bit to adjust the run up. Pretty simple. Just kind of flip up hyzer from here.
This looks good.
Yep, that'll get him to circle's edge. Paul from just a little bit further up on the fairway.
Yeah, a bit more of a pinched off angle, though. This is wider than you want to be.
Oh, what a reaction.
Oh, no.
Didn't know this walking the card today. I was wondering how he landed there. But
yeah, that came in so clean. He landed about 10 feet away from the pin.
Kicks him all
Not
out to
the
mid-circle
reaction
too,
you
yeah?
want.
God.
Yeah, dealing with a very awkward lie. James going to be pitching out, playing for the par now. Great shot from where he was at. He should have a fairly simple up and down from there.
Calvin put this one low, overstable approach disc. Catches early, going to put him inside the circle, well inside the circle. Good correction from yesterday from clipping and shorting that upshot. Here's James, third.
Instead of taking the straight hyzer in front of him, he decides to go with an anhyzer around the trees. Ends up a bit short. Probably needed a little more snap on that. There are a bit more trees on the right side late, playing the odds to miss everything. Paul, back-to-back birdies. Great putt from, what is that, 50 feet here?
Yeah, mid-circle too.
See that rewind.
Oh, yeah. After that terrible reaction, Makes good for the birdie. Go 2 in a row. Marwede from Circle's Edge.
Oh, yeah. They're missing a uncharacteristic putt on one. He gives back-to-back on the next 2 also.
Yeah, I got those nerves out of the way, and he's ready to go. James Circle's Edge here as well.
Looking to keep a clean card. Hits it no problem.
James, all pars so far.
If we have anything like we saw yesterday with putting again, this is going to be a fun round.
Absolutely. I saw a YouTube comment saying they wanted to have the entire round 2 could have just been rewinds. It is so true. An absolute putting clinic. If you missed that one, definitely go back. 80 footers, 90 footers, even further than that. Incredible putting. Oh, and Calvin just spitting out right.
And that might be the most reaction that we've ever seen from Calvin there.
Yeah.
Gives a little handshake. But he'll move on, get some more birdies, I'm sure.
Your rating is one of the most valuable things you get with a membership. It takes your performance in sanctioned events, compares it to the rest of the field, and gives you an empirical number to show how well you played. Rain, shine, wind is all taken into account, leaving only one thing, your play. This gives you accurate numbers to track how well you've been doing and your overall improvement in the game. Get your number today. Visit pdga.com/join.
Hole 4, 327-foot par 3. Another what seems to be kind of a stock hyzer shot, but have to have just a bit more speed on it. You want to get a higher speed than the distance. Well, save me here, Mitch. I messed that one up.
You're good. It's very much a torque shot. You need to kind of disc down.
Go.
You don't want to put it too high. The ceiling is where the difficulty comes in, I think. And if you line yourself up on the tee pad, it can be more of a straight shot just with an overstable disc on a hyzer. But we saw this yesterday from Andrew. He's going to go with the overstable fairway driver and play these skips. And takes a late tree hit, kind of hits the base of it. I'll have a mid-circle 2 look.
Yeah, that's one of the troubles with going with the higher speed. Those little trees back behind it, the higher speed is going to curl around faster, but it brings all those little trees a bit past the basket into play.
And you hear him right out of his hand saying it was pulled and it just a little bit too straight. James going overstable mid-range here.
Yeah, if you can hug this inside line with just a little bit of stand up. He able to get around those little trees, puts him right about Circle's Edge. Just hugging that inside line with a little bit of stand up is the ideal way to get to the pin and avoid those little trees back there.
Calvin having just pitch up here after hitting early.
A nice little pitch up. That's not really what you want to be doing on this hole, but it does feel a bit, you do feel a bit of relief once you get up there around these trees and don't have much of a putt left.
And I believe this is one of 2, if not 3, par 3s that are under 400 feet. Taking advantage of him is big here. Oh, Marwede trying to get the circle 2 percentage going, but just a little bit high.
Yeah, that bit of a trickle there is going to roll out to that distance that he was at on hole 1. Hopefully that doesn't bring anything into play. He'll be able to get his par.
James rifling it in there for the 2.
Yeah, the lone birdie on the card today.
Yeah, gets him under par.
Expect to see more than one birdie out of Chase card. Paul able to connect on his par putt, but 49 players able to get the birdie here. Andrew having to straddle out, but able to connect. Definitely some nerves on that first hole. He's calmed himself down.
And Calvin wrapping up a par here as well. Yeah, this hole playing pretty tough for our Chase card here. And speaking of tough, it takes us into hole 5.
Yeah, the most difficult hole on the course today.
Yeah, it was yesterday as well. So we're going to have a par 3, 432 feet, just dead straight. Hyzer flip, maybe even a forehand. Forehand kind of, you just want to have a little bit more room on the right. That way the hyzer flip turns. Forehand has a little bit more room to finish. So really just got to commit here, trying to win yourself a grill from RecTech if you get the CTP. And I do believe Connor O'Reilly's still holding on going into this round.
First throw of the tournament.
Yeah, on this hole.
5.
Yeah. Oh, and this is very, very early release.
Yeah, that kickoff to the left is off into a bit of a jungle.
And James actually turned around and told the rest of the card that mulch is wet and caused a lot of slip. Just wanted to warn the rest of his card mates.
Oh my goodness, you're going further and further right.
Oh,
Brutal kicks here from the first 2.
yeah, I'm not sure right or left is better.
I mean, I'd always say no kick is the best kick, but it's going to be some scrambling happen here. No surprise here to see Andrew go to the forehand.
Yeah, very comfortable with these shots. Able to look at the gap the entire time.
Oh, drifts just a bit too much.
But he is more in the fairway. So he shouldn't be too upset with that one. He's going to have an opportunity to get up and down.
And usually you say best drive, but I think Andrew had the best kick. I mean, that's our card really struggling to get out, and James going to the overhand here.
Yeah, this is more what you expect to see out here on a hole like this. The last couple days we've had some extremely good shots right down the middle of this fairway. 4 trees today, though.
Going to the thumber.
Yeah, and that's a great shot. Gets lots of forward movement out of that. Gonna have a long look at the par, but very great shot from where he was at. Over here on this right side, there are quite a few trees preventing you from really having a clean line. You can see Calvin having to put a lot of angle on that shot to get it through. Has to go very overstable, ends up skipping off to the right, but he'll be right around circle's edge for his par look.
And Andrew looked everywhere to try to find a forehand line, but having to go to this patent pending overstable. And my goodness, has Andrew Marwede been working on the backhand? That is such a good scramble. Puts him 10 feet away.
Yeah, very difficult not to overpower that shot whenever you're in such an uncomfortable stance. You have to make sure you commit to it, and making sure you commit can often make you overturn it and overpower it. Great show of touch there.
We saw James go to the thumber. It looks like Paul's going for the... Oh, he was lining up a forehand roller.
I think he was That tomahawk
Yeah,
caught
it was
early. Hit one of those early branches and kept him in the woods on the left. Now he's
now the forehand roller.
definitely
yeah.
going forehand roller here.
Gosh.
And unless this rolls in there, we're going to have the first red on the card.
That'll be mid circle 2 in
Yeah,
about
that's
45 feet or so.
Quite a tester for his bogey. James for the par save.
Oh, just short.
Needs more spin.
It's hard to do from out there, James. That's a long way. That's a long way away.
Paul from mid circle 2 here for the bogey.
Come on, go.
Oh, man.
Just not quite enough. Going to end up with a double bogey, erasing the 2 birdies that he's been able to get up to this point.
And I mean, again, this hole playing as the first and hardest hole, the only hole on the day over par.
Yeah, that 3.23. Only 10 people able to get the birdie today.
Wow. That's definitely less than the first couple days.
Yeah, 27% of the field carding a bogey or above.
James fixing the chains here, just making sure he doesn't card himself a double.
Yeah, most red we've seen, we've got a burgundy and a red. 3 strokes over par for the card. Brings us into hole 6, 366-foot par 3. Left side, you're probably not going to see many people take. The right side, again, one of those hyzer stand-up shots. You really want to push the right side of the fairway while on a hyzer and then have that finish off, skipping up to the left. With the rain that you had this morning, some of these branches are hanging a bit lower or more into the fairway today.
Yeah, that's a great shot. A little bit more of an inside line. Goes the full speed driver to climb the hill. That's going to be Circle's edge. One of the best drives I feel like we've seen on coverage so far. Have you seen anyone take that left side? I didn't even see anybody practice it, really.
I have in the past. I haven't seen anybody take it on my cards this week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wide. Oh, that's really wide now.
And unfortunate kickoff to the right side. There's sometimes a line through there that's easy to hit, but a lot of the time you're going to have to scramble pretty hard to get up and down from there.
James really good at this committed hyzer line.
And this is the type of line you want to park it. You got to miss those last trees.
Yeah.
And slows down just a bit, but he's right around Circle's edge. Has a look for the birdie.
We were saying yesterday, even to get circle 2 here feels like a feat.
Yeah, this is what happens a lot of the time. You get that high-speed disc, and it just fades out a bit early over there to the left side, but he's also just outside the circle, which seems to be the good shot on this hole.
Calvin looking like he's in the jungle here. Just not even a view whatsoever to the basket. Snaps one up there.
Oh, and what a shot. That was all arm.
Yes.
Mainly wrist. Couldn't see anything that was going on. That was an incredible forehand shot.
Here's Paul for birdie to get things going.
Go.
And short again. Got his kick out left.
Go.
Yeah, 2 putts in a row. He said go right out of his hand. Just not quite enough speed.
air ball there from Marwede. Kept that a little bit nose up, not letting it fade too much. But James with a nice stepper for the birdie.
Gets the bounce back stat, gets the birdie, gets back under par.
Good birdie, James.
Surprisingly to me, there were 28 players that got this birdie today. That is a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Difficult hole to access.
It actually did average right at par, 2.9. But yeah, it's incredible to have 28 people. I didn't expect that either. Oh, and we didn't expect this as Paul kicks out, and that's going to be another bogey, taking him above par.
Yeah, maybe rushed it just a little bit.
Yeah,
Ends up
frustration, I guess.
kind of catching right side. Definitely could have stuck, though.
And I think that's the scary putt there, as you see a player in front of you from the exact same distance just have a weird reaction. But Marwede makes good for the par. Hole 7, par 4, 744 feet. Beautiful tee shot here, blind around the corner. Really going to commit into a hyzer, kind of a little bit of a stand up, and want to land perfect drives right at that grassy patch. Then you're going to have a choice of kind of going up the middle if you skipped a little bit too far left, or if you're in a good spot, being able to just throw a hyzer. But this green is so sloped. If you're inside the circle on the lower side, I mean, you add about 10-15 feet of power needed to climb it. So really important to land the drive in a good spot to give yourself an easy second one.
And this is one of the holes that the rain can really affect, as the good spot is on a slope on this hole, so there's definitely a possibility it's a bit more slippery today.
That's a good point.
James around the corner in the trees, but right up on one. He's going to have to throw some type of standstill, most likely, at a pretty awkward angle to the gap.
This is very inside.
Yeah, it's a good thing he missed that first tree. He might be inside enough to be on the spectator path.
Hoping
We'll see
spectators
where
saw it coming, though.
Yeah, we'll see where he dropped down to. This looks like a good line to me from Calvin. Pushing around. Gets to a great spot. I believe just like he did yesterday. That seems to be a pretty similar spot.
Yeah, there's been a couple shots so far. I feel like we're watching a repeat of round 1 and 2. No. That same tree, I guess he hit that last round as well.
He's just a bit of a late release, and this is not where you want to be.
You can hear something hit very late onto the flight, and he's actually to the left of the spectator path. Somewhat of a look here, though.
Yeah, he's going to go forehand roller. This could have the right shape to roll down that hill.
Clips.
Stand up.
Oh.
We'll see what he's got down there. It looks open from there, but you never know. There's lots of little trees and branches down there.
Yeah, I think I'm still shocked at the amount of torque he was able to get onto that forehand roller from the standstill.
Paul got to a pretty good spot with that forehand around the corner, but catches the late tree. He's going to have a long look for the par save.
Calvin from a perfect spot here.
Oh, he's pulled this right. All right. Gets through. He's going to have a clean look.
Yeah, James really close to this.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go steep hyzer angle on the right side.
Putting those long legs to use here. Stepping out really far.
Wow, that was so controlled. What a shot.
I mean, we've said it in previous rounds, and it still stands. If you want to score here at WR Jackson, you have to be able to scramble.
The wrist control on that shot blows my mind a bit. He hit exactly where he was trying to hit. Marwede with a good forehand up from out of the woods, going to scramble for his par.
Here's
Paul.
McBeth to go a par.
Trying to stop the bleeding.
There it is.
Yeah, that's a great putt.
It's a very long putt. I mean, edge of circle 2 there, you're looking at way more than 60. And let's rewind this back uphill the entire way, getting the nose up. Great
Just
putt.
From a standstill, normal putt.
I remember years ago coming and watching Hall of Fame Classic 2015, being here from Georgia and watching Paul hit, I think it was 3 or 4 in a row, about 70 footers standstill, just again and again and again over on the steady course. And it's very rare to see him jump putt, but you don't need to. James makes good as well.
What a birdie from James.
So good.
Standstill, stretched out second shot. Heiser's all the way through. Calvin looking to get a birdie as well. Brighten up his card a bit. Looks a bit gray over there.
Sneaks it over.
Just over the rim.
Takes him to minus 20 on the tournament. First one on the card to do so.
Yeah. And earlier I mentioned how the sun didn't come out, so it didn't get too steamy. You can still feel a bit of humidity, though, so sometimes it takes a minute to kind of get your hand set, get your grip feeling right on the disc. It's a very important thing to do. Don't want to feel any type of uncomfortableness in your grip on the disc. Bringing us to hole 8, 645-foot par 4. Another one where the rain is really going to mess with this area right here. The landing zone gets wet and stays wet for a little bit after some rain. So you might see some players try to push a little farther than before today to get past that wet spot. Then you'll have about a 300-foot upshot if they do succeed in pushing farther. Stay to this right side and it'll be pretty open.
James with this putter in his hand. Oh, catches a great tree.
Yeah, that was a great kick. He was going to push too straight. He's over on that right side past the wet spot.
Calvin lining up the forehand here. That's a really good point. I mean, this being that you're throwing so far downhill off of this and then this right to left. Looked like he pulled that a little bit high, the way he kind of swept through it.
Yeah, he's inside a little bit. He'll be pinched off and have to have a bit more of an angle on his release.
And Andrew's been working this disc today. Backhand, forehand, we've seen it a lot so far. Yeah.
Yeah, and in an ideal position. Well, he's pushed a little bit to that left side. He's going to have to take that smaller gap, I believe. He could go forehand down the right side. Paul, another pretty unfortunate kick there. Going to be out of position. It's a small chance to get up and down for birdie, but he's going to have a lot of work to do.
What a line. Flexing out on him a little bit too soon, though. That's a good tree to keep him out, get himself a circle 2 putt.
Sorry, you were tight.
Yeah, it's probably about 40 over there. Have a good look at it. And yeah, Calvin just a little bit pinched off. He's going to have to go with a sharp angle also, just using the backhand.
You hear him.
Oh, and he gets a good kick back to the right.
Calvin really talkative today.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to hit that right side line. Ended up going down this left side.
And this lines up pretty well for Andrew's forehand.
He does like the hyzer stand-ups. This is not quite standing up enough. He's going to skip over there to close to the same area as Paul, maybe a few steps closer.
I mean, he hit a big putt yesterday to save par. Right around that same area, so take him back there, kind of re-envision yourself in that same spot and make it happen again this time for birdie. Straightens out on James a little bit.
Oh, and misses the tree he thought it would hit, but catches another. He's kicked down to the low side of the basket. Also in circle two, going to have a long look. And comes up just a bit short. Those are a lot of the time when I don't think there's a chance for Calvin to make a putt. Those are the ones that he makes.
It just keeps going. It stays in the air. There's so much snap on that
So
putter.
I was definitely waiting for that one to go in.
James mid-circle two. This is good step putt range for him. Oh, and he's running it down. But
Yeah,
just a little.
definitely like the line. But the slight uphill got him, I think. Needed a bit more nose up on the putter to be able to match the angle of the hill.
And after hitting a great 1-on-7, the putting woes continue for McBeth.
And this is the third hole already through these 8 that is averaged at 3.93, tying as the third most difficult hole on the course. Andrew Marwede wants the birdie, though, getting rid of that gray on his card also.
Good look at this straddle stepper.
Nice circle 2 look. Very great pop with his hand. He's really got that push putt. Nice pop.
Yeah, it comes out of his hand on hyzer, but then he just pops it that last second to flat and gets it just to go so straight, using the glide. And Paul still getting the par, staying over par though.
Yeah, that's a frustrating feeling in general, just being over par.
For sure. So we go into last hole here on the front 9, par 4, 618 feet. Really get to unleash a drive here, maybe a flex with an overstable disc. Try to just get to the corner, if not make it around it. And really based on where you're landing, if you get across the road, going to be pretty smooth backhand. But if you're short or early, there is a left side gap. It's a pretty small fairway where the forehand can go. And this looks like it's heading down that left side.
Yeah, pretty early fade from Andrew there. I'm not sure if he just didn't quite get the snap he was looking for.
And this is the shot I feel like James Conrad's dreams are made of, and that is so far. Too far.
Yeah, a bit too far.
Oh,
Needed
it gets
it
the
to
curl out.
fade a little earlier. Yeah, it does get a nice little curl out right on the edge. Probably another standstill shot, though, but shouldn't be an issue. He's inside 300 feet.
Little low from Calvin, but gets a lot of ground play.
I'll take it.
Yeah, makes it all the way to the road. He'll still be in a good position there. Might have to stand still. Looks a little slippery.
Mm-hmm. This is too much turn. Oh, but it gets lucky skipping all the way. A lot of torque behind that to skip when it wasn't on edge. Forehand roller.
From a knee.
Jeez.
Gets up and over to that left side. He's going to be... He'll have a good line over there. Should be able to have a look to get up and down without working too hard.
Yeah, controlled run up from Calvin from the mud.
Just how you want to do it.
McBeth really on the edge of this tree line. From an uncomfortable position, this flexes out. Gonna leave him just outside the circle. Maybe have to go to a straddle though.
This course seems to do that. You throw like what seems to be a good shot, just gets a little bit of a bad reaction or indifferent reaction, puts you in a situation like this where you still feel like you should be able to hit the shot, but there's just that one extra tree over there that you hit and keeps you in circle 2.
Point made.
Yeah, it doesn't look like too much trouble over here. Nice and high for a soft finish. He'll be able to tap into par. James now 55, 60 feet. Looking for the birdie, but just a bit high. Also going to be tapping in his par. Paul a bit closer, maybe 45. And needed it to go again. Just a bit soft today. This rain seems to have slowed some players down. Not getting off to the hot starts that we've seen the first couple days.
Yeah, sometimes the ground maybe just a little bit softer, with how much rain. I mean, there was a lot of rain this morning. Maybe the timing being a little bit off as he's trying to get the weight shift happening. Something just not working for McBeth today on the putting green.
Yeah, and we're only at 3 down and 2 down, and we've definitely seen some 4s to 6s so far on this front 9.
Very true.
So not quite as hot, and a few more bogeys. Yesterday, I believe we only had 1 bogey on the card throughout the front.
Yeah, McBeth definitely just not in McBeast mode, but he's got 9 holes. I mean, at this point, yesterday, he went 10 down through the next 10. So
Gavin Babcock, Chandler
moves.
Fry with the 2 6 down so far on our leaderboard at this point.
Yeah, that'll wrap it up here for the front 9 on moving day, round 3. First major of the year. Definitely a little bit of nerves. Our card playing a little bit, slow, but still good amount of holes left to be able to close it out.
Yeah, starting to adjust to the different mindset today, making sure you stay towards the top to give yourself that chance. Looking to see some hot back 9s here.
Yeah, they definitely need it. Be sure to like and subscribe here at Gatekeeper Media. Thank you to our Patreon as they're scrolling on through there on the left side of your screen. And for us here at Gatekeeper Media, my name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me, Nathan Queen, and we'll see you for the back 9 of round 3 here in Appling, Georgia.
We'll see you guys out there.